Aggies welcome in Division II, Western New Mexico. The Pan Am Center, so glad you are with us. And the Aggies turn it over out of the gates. Here's Isaiah Lewis for Western. He's blocked away by Mike. The Aggies showing off their big-time length and athleticism early. This is a very, very big lineup. Typically 4 guards and 1 post player for the Aggies. The post player is Issa Muhammad. The 4 right now is Mike Peak. Here's DeChandre Washington for 3. Plus, we know he can play make. The one part of his game that maybe was a little dicey coming in was his 3-point shot. He knocks down an early 3.
It's a good sign.
Avalos swings it for Emmanuel White, who has played in this building before.
And of course, Tony Avalos grew up in town here.
Avalos, the only non-D1 transfer in this starting 5 for Western. Corner 3 for Roy is too strong. Scramble for the rebound, and it's going to be Aggie during the Chris Jant era where the starting 5 changed a lot. One of the mainstays will be DeChandre Washington, though, who should be one of the top players for the Aggies this year. Here's Dajuan Gordon for the elbow. Offensive rebound, Issa Muhammad.
And that's where Muhammad can do that. He can help quite a bit.
And just like Washington, he had a lot of Power 5 offers a couple of years ago. Really athletic post player. A 3 for Little, swirls off. Weak side rebound, Gordon from Kansas State and Mizzou. The Aggies are loaded with Power 5 transfers. Pull-up jumper for Washington off the back rim. And rebound is tapped to Littles. Western 11 and 14 a year ago. A lot of newcomers this year, though, and that's a strong finish for DJ. He's
pretty easily there.
This is not your typical Division II roster. 8 Division I transfers for Western. Skip goes to Roy. Missed a 3 from that spot earlier. Pullback jumper is good for Anthony Roy.
And the crowd liked that one.
And then Roy fights for the rebound.
Whoop. That was just like on the commercials.
Early sub for the Aggies has
really admired about going to practice is just the togetherness and the enthusiasm that these guys have for not just for themselves but for each other.
Greg Heyer pushes them hard every single day. They've been beating up on each other, happy to finally be playing somebody else. Avalos will push ahead for White. Brings it back out to the perimeter for the Mustangs. Open 3 for DJ Heath, and he has 5 early. One school, then he went to Alabama State. Now he's in Western New Mexico. Mustangs by 1 in the first 3 plays. There's Anthony Roy hit.
And one of 2 lefties on the team, I think, this year.
Shahar Lazar, who we will see at some point tonight, the other. Long-range pop for White. 4 Aggies down there. It's the 6'7" point guard Washington who snares the rebound. Cross-court feed for Gordon. Gets Lewis in the air, and he connects from 3. Littles to the rim. He bumps off the body of Western, 13-10. Gordon for 3. 4+ in exhibition contest for the Pan Am.
I've needed this night badly.
Yes, me as well. The Aggies brought in Kyle Fite off the bench during the timeout, so he's one of those newcomers who can really shoot it. Catch and shoot for Fite. This is too strong. Manola Chukon made 3s in 3-point percentage a year ago. There's a turnover. The Aggies should force a lot this year. Ahead for Dr. Bradley. And he lost it off his leg.
This player was ever to play for the Aggies. He was maybe 5'8" and a walk-on, but he was a really important player on those Billy Keys teams.
Avalos has had a really good career at Western. The floor for the Aggies right now. Washington with the ball. Joined on the floor by Fite, Peak, Roy, and Bradley. Just one returner on the floor. That is Peak. Washington, late decision. He finds Bradley, who's bumped. From here, right. Not a bad drive.
It's 100 miles from here, 110 maybe.
This roster, he had to because of the transfer portal and so many players.
And you know, it's a small world, the junior college world, and he dominated that world.
Jalen McFadden nearly overthrows Lewis. Shot clock Down to 10 for Western New Mexico. High post, Peterson. That's offensive. Our officials here tonight, Larry Spalding, Randy Richardson, and Crystal Hogan. Washington, a big guard at 6'7". Step in three for Peak. He had a
this could be Mike Peak's year.
Three by Avalos, his first point guard. He only averaged 12 a game a year ago, but he averaged 4 games defensively because he can guard the 1 through the 4. Here at Oakland, played 2 years there, 3 years here. So the key for Beck is staying healthy. If he stays healthy, he could be a starting 5 guy for Greg Heyer here in year 1.
Well, he's thicker than the other big guys are.
And Washington is Littles to the wing for Lewis. Left-handed 3, it's a brick, and there's finds Beck, the post player who can dribble. Corner 3 for Gordon, his second made triple.
It's a good sign how well the Aggies are moving the ball.
Not easy to get 16 new players to mesh. The Aggies are 5 for 7 from 3. Josh Johnson, he's off. Put back is good though for Isaiah Lewis. Might have been a delay of game. I think somebody touched the ball through the hoop, so it was just a delay of game. But Greg Heyer wasn't happy nonetheless.
But they were together on and off over the years. They have a long history together.
Gordon again, looking for his third made 3. He racks up another. Hot shooting early for the Aggies. They have made 4 straight from the field. Josh Johnson, only 5'6", feeds it out in the arc for Lewis. Mustangs are 50% from the field so far. Good defense, good verticality by Washington, and his good shot goes. Aggie lead down to 5, 24-19, 8 minutes in, here in half 1. A lob for Muhammad. One Shuko teammate to another, the pass by Washington.
He completely had me fooled there. I thought, what a bad shot. And it was a perfect pass, and it was clearly deliberate.
Those 2 guys know each other extremely well. Rolls out of bounds, only 2 misses. 3 makes from Kwaye Gordon. Aggies in front early for the Pan Am.
Played so well together. They're sharing the ball, moving the ball. There hasn't been a bad shot yet, and that kind of, they've already got 7 assists, which is plenty of assists for the first quarter of the game.
4 to shoot here for Johnston. 1 to shoot. Do they know it? They do. White misfires. 2 rebounders there. It's Anthony Roy swings it for Dejuan Kwaye Gordon. Another 3. His 4th made 3. Now, Kwaye Gordon's had a really, really good career, but he's not been a knockdown 3-point shooter historically during his time so far collegiately. He's been a great defender. Washington finds Gordon. Misses short. Stripped away by Peak and pick up near half court. Aggies have played a little zone so far here in the first half. Johnson slings it for White, working on Roy. Has it poked and stolen, Issa Muhammad. Roy will push. First minutes for Chi-Chi Avery. Here's Dr. Bradley, working on Hohenstein. Good move. Some contact, no call. That pass was intended for Greg Heyer.
So putting in an offense and stressing team play. And if a guy comes out and gets too excited and starts, hogging the ball or taking bad shots, good hands. Clearly, the new coaching staff and the entire focus seems to be running the offense and playing together and taking good shots. I mean, look at this ball movement. It's just pretty good ball movement.
7 to shoot for Muhammad, who rumbles down the lane. Contact and 1 for Issa Muhammad.
Kind of like the old Boston Celtics, where they were. If you're not old enough to remember, Adam, but that kind of mentality where I've got a pretty good shot, but this guy's got a better shot.
Issa Muhammad, 6'9", 240. He's from Atlanta, Wake Forest, Iowa State a couple of years ago, so he's been highly sought after his entire collegiate career. And with him and DeShondre Washington, they played for Greg Heyer last year, and they wanted to play for him again. That's why they chose the Aggies here. Left-hander Anthony Roy out of the backcourt. Splits defenders to the rim, and he's blocked away by Peters. White working on Gordon. Dribble drive for Johnson. Long floater rims in for the 5'6" Josh.
Terrific up to this point. This is the first time the Aggies have come down and not really shared the ball and got it moving from side to side. Now he looked like he thought he had a layup. He wound up getting blocked. But that was the first time they didn't share the ball.
That snapped a 7-0 Aggie run, and now a turnover on Dr. Bradley, who gets called for a charge. I think if you look at what we've seen so far in practice and what happened in the Bahamas, Russ, turnovers have been an issue, and that might be because of the style of play the Aggies play. They're going to play up and down a lot, but turnovers have been a little high to Greg Heyer's liking so far.
I think that's right, but I think it's been talked about, and I just can't imagine that with his intense enthusiasm that it isn't starting to sink in already. We've got to take care of the ball.
Gordon, Avery, Fight, Roy, and Washington for the Aggies. White, Quest, Hohenstein, Lewis, and Heath for Western New Mexico. Shot misses. Bullet pass ahead for Kyle Fight. The Aggies will try to find him when they can in the arc. He is a knockdown shooter. There's the other returner who had minutes a year ago, Chi Avery. Now Washington tries to break down Lewis. A mismatch there. Shot is left short, and a fair tonight for the Pan Am.
Center, and it's been proven over and over again. This is a really difficult place to come in and place. The altitude, the rabid crowd, the parquet floor.
Here's stage one. Gordon, who stuffs it in one-handed. 14 now for the transfer from Kansas State and Mizzou. 2 years at K-State, 1 year with the Missouri Tigers. Former top 80 recruit nationally out of Chicago. We're going to talk about Chicago so much this year. He went to Curry High School in Chicago. Hook. Kyle Fight with the steal, hands it off to Gordon. He'll push with Washington. Finds Quaye, who passes up the three, and Fight bobbles, and then he steps on the sideline.
Defensively.
We're going to see this a lot this year. Defense into offense.
Yes, well, yes, and when things are going the pace that Greg Heyer wants it, you can be sure of that.
Aggies to force 7 turnovers so far, including 5 in the previous 5 minutes. DJ Heath, a really tough contested step-back three. Another board for Washington, his third. 3 helpers, 3 rebounds, 3 points for DeShondre in the Aggie game. Both numbers, I think, are going to be a lot higher this year. We'll see if the margin is positive this year. It was a -2 margin on turnovers a year ago. Washington gets his hands in there, and he steals it away. No numbers for Fight. He's not afraid to pull the trigger in transition, though. They find him in the corner. Buries the triple. And Olive Juco a year ago and made threes with 112. Also in three-point percentage, 47%. And when you shoot as many threes as he shot and shoot it at a 47% clip, that is... Aggies are 8 for 11 from bonus distance. Washington slithers. Gordon defended well by White. Trying to call a timeout in a jump ball.
That's twice DeShondre Washington has open looks, but keeps moving the ball anyway. And boy, I mean, you've got a 6'7" point guard with big hands, and
he might, right?
He may have one tonight.
Washington 3 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists in this game. Left-handed finger roll for Keith Little.
He thinks he needs to be working harder. Yet he's pretty upbeat. You know, he's a pretty positive, upbeat guy too.
True freshman Jaden Alexander in for the first time for the Aggies. He's in the far left corner. Here's Muhammad in the mid-post. Muhammad, good jump hook. He has an array of post moves there in the mid-post and the low block.
Yeah, he's quick. He's quick off the dribble. He's got. I hadn't seen the jump hook. I've been to quite a few practices and hadn't seen that one.
Now he's defending the 5'9" Avalos. Cutting Shaylin McFadden. Good extra pass and a foul in the corner. That's
if Keith Little's just got a little. Oh yeah, I think he's a rising star. He'd work on coach.
The Aggies actually saw Ole Miss and Kermit Davis in their Bahamas foreign tour. Of course, did not play Ole Miss, but they were there in the Bahamas the same week at the same venue. Good feed down low to a slipping Okaru Odunawu. His teammates call him Shat. He catches the feed. He's Western.
Plays straight in my head.
Of course, that Bahamas foreign tour in early August really helped with team camaraderie, building that trust. Mustangs 3 for 12 now from 3. Aggies have made 8 triples on 11 tries. This match here, Washington posting up on Ware. That's deflected into the backcourt. Kyle Fight with 10 to shoot. Washington doesn't use the back ball screen. Fight out of the corner. He connects.
He's got his head on a swivel. Good pass by Tony Avalos.
Gordon beat and New Mexico run. Anthony Roy a dump off, and there's James Beck who double clutches in midair and still scores. He's missed some practice recently. He's battling 3 surgeries during his career, and he's older too. I think he's 23 years old. I mean, he's in his 6th year collegiately, so if he stays healthy, he can really be productive.
Yes.
Kim Aiken. 2 probable starters, especially Pinson, full parts of this team, and those 2 guys are still ineligible. The Aggies turn it over. Avalos with a steal. Littles inside the arc, an elbow jumper, and air ball. Andre Washington maneuvers into the front court. Beck can shoot threes. He only has 1 career make, but he's shot them very well in practice so far this year. Spins to his left, and he lost it. Stolen by Littles. 3-on-3. Littles to the rim. Finger roll. That's offensive. Kyle is for Chris Giantz's team. And then last year it was Johnny McCants, who was in his 6th year in the program. He was always the charge taker. Washington finds an open Jaden Alexander, the true freshman, way off in the jumper. Snatched in offensive by Gordon. Washington stays patient with it. Gordon, way short, follows the miss, hands it off to Muhammad, leans in, and that one slips off right back to Muhammad. And he's going to get regards if you don't have good rebounding guards, and the Aggies have that. Aggies a year ago, 13th in the country in rebound margin at play. Local product from Las Cruces has not seen action so far in the first half. He's battling for minutes in practice right now with Alexander. Mustangs swing around for Isaiah Lewis, a left-hander. Dribble drive for White. Dumps it off for Hohenstein. High off the window, and that pinball is through. It seems pretty good offensively. The Aggies 57% for the field. Mustangs 46% for the field in the first 20. Lob for Muhammad, and he tips it through.
Yes, Andre Washington.
A half dozen helpers so far for the 6'7" point guard from Chicago. Long deuce for Heath. Offensive rebound, Hohen against the Aggies a couple of years ago in one of those home games. 20-plus seconds here in the first half. The Aggies should get the final shot. About a 1 second difference. Game clock, shot clock. That's foul number 7.
And I'm really impressed by how willing they are to share.
Came in. Aggie lead. Gordon defends Littles. There are 10 seconds left. Littles isolated with Gordon. He goes to work. He misses. Alexander the rebound. Looking ahead for Fight. He threw it away. And Avalos can't get rid of it in time. That would not have counted if it went in.
He's going to get a good look at other players, and the minutes won't be taken up by Pinson and Akins.
First possession for the Aggies at half two. It's a pick and roll. Washington. That's assist number 7 for DeShondre Washington. Corner 3 for White is left short. Offensive rebound for Lewis. Lewis, a corner 3, that's good. Quickly ahead for Mike Peak underneath. And Mike Peak is bumped and he will shoot a pair. Fun to watch. Washington and Muhammad run the pick and roll together. On a team full of newcomers.
Greg Heyer before newcomers because they
There's Tony Avalos, the Las Cruces native, and he floats it in. He had a pretty quiet.
when he played for Mike Nunez at Oñate, now Oregon Mountain High School, he was always the smartest player on the floor.
I am quite confident he will get that triple-double at some point this year. Maybe a couple. Pull-up jumper for Littles, cleared by Muhammad. Step in 3 for Anthony Roy, a little too strong. DJ Heath, the former top 100 recruit nationally, he throws it away. Aggies with numbers. Here comes Roy, finds the trailer Gordon, slinks it for Peak. And that's a blocking foul on Western.
It's sort of a good sign of toughness.
This is a new scenario at Georgia. The year at Austin Peay misfires on both. He's back.
Yeah.
Normally a really good shooter. Straight on 3 for Heath. Shallow. Fight for the 2 minutes in. Half two. The Aggies ahead by 13. Tajuan Gordon comes out of nowhere. He lobs it for Washington. Roy the rebound, ahead for Gordon, and now Gordon will slow it down. I said it early, DeShondre Washington is going to be a whole lot of fun to watch play. Each and every night. Pick and pop for Peak to the rim. He tried dunking it, and he falls down hard again. Pass wasn't great, but it was good enough. You just toss it up there, and DeShondre will go and find it.
It was nearly in the basket anyway. But yeah,
Points per game a season ago for Peak. He did play all 30. He's turned into a leader. Have success here tonight. That snaps a 2-minute score. Aggies trying to pull away early on in half two. Muhammad down the lane. Finger roll is good for East of Muhammad. That's a game high 15 for Muhammad. Peterson again. Andre Washington runs the point. Chichi Avery came in during the timeout. We'll pick and roll. Washington, Muhammad. Washington with a floater, and that's good. He's in double. What impresses you the most about his game right now, Russ?
well, how calm he is. You know, he lets the game come to him. He's making things happen, yet he seems to be completely under control. Nice move.
Highly coveted, went to Canisius and then went to Alabama State before joining Western New Mexico. Muhammad thinks about a 3. He can shoot those, but probably won't shoot a ton this year. Washington, cross-court feed for Avery. Short corner, Muhammad to a cutting Washington, and he gets fouled going up. It's one of the nation's top JUCO players.
I don't blame him. It seems like a lot of fun playing for Greg Heyer.
What is attracting a lot of these players here is because his track record to develop players into NBA guys. And DeShondre Washington down the road could be the next in the long line of developed NBA players by GH. There's a 3 for 5. And Gordon draws a charge. Big fist pump from Greg Heyer.
In the entire second half here.
Right back to Washington. Doesn't shoot many threes. He's only attempted 1. He made it early. Still methodical. To the rim. Left-handed floater, no good. Weak side rebound for Lewis, who creeps out of the path. Lewis whips it in the corner. A 3 for Heath. Pick and roll. Washington lobs it for Muhammad. Nowhere to go with it. Avalos zigzagging in transition. Gets it back from Peterson. Guarded by Muhammad on the switch. Stop and pop for Avalos. Good look at jump shot there. Muhammad down the key and Aggies enter for Avery. Scoreless. Hasn't attempted a shot. Now he will, and he lays it in. Chi Avery, one of those two returners who got minutes a year ago.
He got bumped in the lip there, but he seems to be okay.
Avalos slithers. High-arcing floater, no good. Kyle Fight the rebound. This is where Anthony Roy is really good in transition. He finds an open Kyle Fight, who missed the three shallow. The Aggies have their biggest lead tonight, but still looking for more separation. Avalos to pull up. He's fouled by Fight.
5'9" jump shooter. Watch Chi Avery go to work here, though. This is, you know, he's still a lot of untapped potential in Chi Avery.
We said it a lot last year, especially early, because he came in, he was last year in the Lone Star Conference. Averaged 13 a game. Mustangs not going away yet. The Aggies have led by as many as 19. Roy down the key, swirls in and one for Anthony Roy. Got to start tonight. He's a big guard, too, at 6'5". The Aggies pick up the pressure defensively. Contested three for Avalos. White left, and then Tejuan Gordon tips it in of Gordon. Limited minutes for James Beck tonight. Avery launches a three. Offensive rebound for Fight. Roy staying patient, goes away for the ball screen. Pick and pop for Beck. Here's Avery again. Maneuvers down the key. And that's a charge on Chi. Aggies pressed a ton in the Bahamas. Not so much here tonight. But you also don't want to show your hand for future opponents down the road here in this exhibition game. So it doesn't seem like the Aggies are running much offensively. A three for Tiz. The Mustangs able to inch a little bit closer. Avery gets the defender in the air. Back out for Fights. Right back to Chi. He launches for the wing. Offensive rebound for Beck. Good. Back out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's a redshirt senior. His best year collegiately was within 3 years of Miami, Ohio. He's 23 years old, so he brings an older lot of youth. Hohenstein met by Roy, and he flips it in.
I'm impressed that Western hasn't been rattled at all. They think they're supposed to be in this game.
So they're going to play one other D1. They're going to play UNM in December in the pit. Gordon rebounds the miss from, hasn't scored yet in half two after 14 and half one. Anthony Roy, ill-advised three. Offensive rebound for Beck. Can't put it in. Still no good for Roy. And it's picked up by McFadden, and the foul is
I think they were
30 fans.
Were they 33-1 last year at Las Cruces High School?
He was 102-6 in his 4 years as a starter, playing for his dad, William Benjamin, who has his cell phone out in the stands, videotaping this. First action for Benjamin. Washington throws it away. Johnson steals it and makes the triple. His second made three. What a time for Deuce Benjamin to enter with his team only up 11. Mid-post Muhammad. Right-handed hook is short, and it's snatched in by Peterson defensive.
And it's a pretty good team when, Tony Avalos, who's their leading returning scorer, goes out of the game, and here comes Johnson, and he's just as effective.
Low post feed for Hohenstein. Benjamin late to get there. Ripped in, though, by Muhammad. Really need Washington to take this game over. Ball is in his hands right now. He's checked by Ware. Pick and roll with Muhammad. On the wing for Peak, and that was touched by Peak.
And if he has 7 turnovers against Western New Mexico, it could get tougher against UTEP or the Lobos.
Johnson, former Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of New Mexico. Alexander dumps it off for Washington at midcourt. Now Ware will back off. Benjamin has it stolen away by D'Angelo Ware. Left-handed finger roll slips off, no good for Ware. Greg Hires going to get Dejuan Gordon back in here momentarily. He has the scores table. Washington a footer, that's good. 15 for DeShondre Washington. McFadden backdoor. Peterson partially blocked.
And we also have something that looks a little different this year round. We got the suite project that's ongoing. How excited are you to add that to the Pan Am?
Well, super excited. It's going to bring in about $250,000 annually in new revenue. All the suites are sold, and we'll be selling those 40 club seats next week, and they'll all be sold as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mario. Back to you guys.
It's okay with me. If we can get some Ruby's barbecue out there.
Different view. Big block by Peak. Inbound pass is deflected, then picked up by McFadden. Johnson's open. He made 2 earlier. He makes a third. This one out of the
question than what he thought when he came in the game.
He did not play in half one. Entered about 5 minutes ago. He launches a 3 and he connects. Big 3 for. Aggie lead grows to 13, which is what it was at halftime. It's been dead even points-wise at half 2. Pitch out to the corner. Peterson's 3 is an air ball. Weak side rebound. Washington gets it back from Muhammad. The ball is in his hands a lot. Washington for Peak. Open wing 3. Yes, sir.
And back up to 16.
Mike Peak a 3, but first it was Deuce. That'll give him some confidence. I'm sure there are tons of jitters. I can only imagine what is going through his mind right now.
Recognize him because he's gotten so much stronger.
Yeah, he's put on about 15 pounds of muscle. Peak blocks the shot, and so now White will trigger in for Avalos. The defense has picked up the previous couple of minutes for the Aggies. Now they're in a zone defense right here, 1-3-1. In the paint is Lewis. His shot put Footer is short. I don't think there's any question. This is a totally different team without Pinson and Aiken as Washington goes. Avalos, a pullback jumper. That's good.
He's tough, huh? That's over Issa Muhammad.
Washington slithers in the key. Left-handed finger roll off the glass.
For us to go shoot it in the basket.
Pull-up jumper is good for Keith Little. So these. DeShondre Washington approaching a double-double. He needs one more assist to get there. Muhammad throws it away. Washington, yeah, they're going to call over and back. Don't know yet, so this could be what you have, but you could also have 2 key cogs inserted here in the next week or so. Chichi Avery to the rim, and he banks it in. Avery with 4. Avalos on the spin. A little too strong off the heels, 5th. Seems like there's always an interesting storyline going into the season for the Yankees as Washington floats home another. He has 20.
He's so fluid with the ball, but you can't put a guy his size on him because he won't be quick enough. There's a beautiful pass by
in the key, gets his own miss, puts it up and puts it in. Couple of years have been injuries. Christian's always seemed to have 4 or 5 guys out to start the year. The storyline this year is trying to get Pinson Aiken eligible. Lead pass for Dr. Bradley, and it pops loose, and it's grabbed by Lewis. Right to the rim, good defense. That was Deshaundre Washington. Bradley attacks, gets it back, and puts it in.
Good hustle by Dr. Bradley. New Mexico team this was.
3 Aggies in double figures led by Washington with 21. 2 Mustangs in double figures led by Littles with 14. Final 2 and change. The Aggies are defense. All-the-way jumper is good for D'Angelo Ware. So 91-71. It was 48-35 Aggies at the break. Western for a good chunk of this half played dead even. There's Deuce Benjamin. He now has 4.
When he took the little bump there, that could have been a 3-point play. Really good body control by Deuce Benjamin.
High rebound for Roy. Avery straight on 3, way short. Bullet pass to a wide open Peterson, who ducks it right around Chichi.
Yeah, and when Chichi put up the 3, he ought to be able to get back on defense to find him. It's just a little mental lapse by Chichi there. And see, Western they don't know they're supposed to quit and roll over and play dead now. They're fighting away even with a minute to go.
Kick it out to the corner for Kyle. Fight the helper from Deuce Benjamin. Ware leans in, he left it short, and Dr. Bradley will grab it. Seconds here tonight. Good move by Anthony Roy, and he will get free throws out of it. Weston, those 3 are fighting for minutes. That may be as an old freshman. He's 21 years old in his first year here in the U.S. after coming over from Israel. Johnson enters for Ware, guarded by Kyle Fight. Here in the final 30 seconds. Johnson thought about it, and now he's going to shoot. Time of the year with lots of big games to enjoy. It's also the time of the year together we can end BWI. Clock is off. Benjamin for Bradley. Greg Heyer saying shoot the ball. He's okay with it. Alexander will attack. Off glass, no good, but he will shoot 2. Well, he Deuce in his limited minutes tonight.
Well, as I mentioned, he's much control going to the basket where he got bumped. Could have been a 3-point play. I think he's got a bright future. And I'm assuming he's got the genetics of his father.
Kyle Fight will shoot a 3 to get to 100, and he can't connect. So now